All right, y'all, we are back and we had a pretty successful day today at the 1-2 table again. Just a couple hands in, we fold a few and we get ace queen of hearts. So this is one we can definitely open up with, even in early position here, under the gun +1. I think we're actually just under the gun here, and we get one caller directly to our left, folds around to the button. The button calls small blind, big blind, fold, and we are in a three-way pot. So with us being hearted, we're looking for hearts, some kind of flush draw, maybe an ace or a queen, and we barely have a backdoor flush draw here, which is not great. So we check. Questionable decision here. We get a sizable bet to our left here. I think he bets in about 50 into the about $50 pot, so he's doing about a pot size bet. But we do have the backdoor flush draw. We do have two overcards that could come. And we decide to make the call. The guy to our left had been playing pretty loose. My thought is he definitely either has a jack or a seven here. So any overcard, whether it be a king, queen, or ace, we're feeling like we could probably get some value out of it. Okay, king wasn't the ace or the queen what we wanted, so we check to him, and luckily for us, we get to see a free card, and it is a queen. Um, Unless this guy has a king, we should have him beat, which if he had a king, I'm sure he would have barreled again on the turn there. Surprised he didn't barrel off, so maybe he thought I had a jack as well, and he might have a low jack. So we go ahead and lead off with a half pot, maybe third pot size bet here, and he folds. And now a lot of you might be saying, James, why do you only show us the hands you win? So I thought this is a pretty good hand just to kind of mix in here. This is a hand where I made a pretty solid fold. Spoiler alert. So we turn over ace five hearted, which has the potential to be the nuts if we see some hearts. So, but we go ahead and we see some bets getting thrown out. I believe it's 20, and we get a couple folds to our right. I think I'm making it here a four-way pot, if not a three-way. So we go ahead and call. And I think another move we could have done here is to raise to try to isolate. But we actually hit a huge dink on the turn. We hit two pair. We hit ace five. But what's the bad news? These are all diamonds, and we have hearts. So all it takes is someone with either two diamonds in their hand to make a flush that's going to beat our two pair, or one diamond in their hand. Couple folds over to me. The guy to the left, actually, who I believe ends up hitting the flush, when I think he hit it on the flop here. He bet a pretty sizable amount. I want to say it was like half pot. And it comes to me, and I really tank for a second to think about this because I have two pair, and if he's got one diamond, we could look to call and draw it out. But we're already up about 105 chips right now, so we go ahead and just fold. We're looking to keep stacking here so we can get some good profitable return. All right, so this was a pretty fun hand as well. So here we are pulling up Jack Queen a few hands later, and funny thing, we actually got Jack Queen, I think about 3 or 4 times during this session, and 2 or 3 times were actually in a row. So we get a guy that leads out for 10, and then the guy to our right actually leads out for 50. And Jack Queen, it's kind of a debatable call. We're up right now. We feel pretty good about what we're doing, so we're willing to go ahead and put in the call. But unfortunately, this guy goes ahead and just shoves all in onto a $100 pot. So the guy to our right actually ends up folding, and we go ahead and call this guy who has gone all in. He's acting like he's gonna go play PLO is what he said. His name got called. Well, glad we called because we hit a two pair, jack on the flop, queen on the turn. And unfortunately for him, who he did have a good hand despite trying to play it down, he had ace jack, and he would have had us ripped on the flop, but we were able to get it all in before the flop even came, and we turned the two pair, take him down for a really sizable pot. I think we made a little over 130 off that one pot. All right, and on to our last hand here, which was one that really set us up to end the day strong. We see King 8 of clubs, and we go ahead and lead out for 10. We get one caller. We are heads up. So not even a huge bet surprise. It was just one caller here. And unfortunately, we don't see any clubs come on the river. In fact, we actually see spades, which makes us a little nervous, but he leads out for a measly bet of $9. So we just go ahead and call. We want to see if we can see a card that's better for us. or maybe even worse for him. And boom, there's the king. So we go ahead. Action is to him first, and he leads out with a decent sized bet here. Looks like it was somewhere around 30, 34, 30, 31, 32, something like that. So we go ahead and put in a raise because we know he doesn't have a king, right? Because he already bet. So we think he maybe has a spade draw and under pair. We want to try to get him to fold the spade draw. But he calls. He doesn't hit the spade draw. We've got top pair. He checks. I check just in case he's got something sneaky like trips. And we pull down another pretty huge pot, $130. So at this point, we're massively up. We've doubled our buy-in, and we're able to make out like a bandit today in just under 90 minutes. Overall, not super stoked with how we played today. We played pretty decent, though. It definitely paid off. We made some good folds. We made some good calls. Our $300 buy-in netted us another 305, so we cashed out today for 605. That puts us a little over 1,500 on the month so far in profits. So we're looking to continue and see how big we can get the bankroll this month.